Sometimes I ask myself this weird question: would I be lonely in my 40s? And then I immediately roll my eyes. Like, girl, calm down. You're not even there yet. But it's there. That thought just lingers somewhere in the back of my head, like background noise that never shuts up. It's not something that I think about every day, but it comes back, especially at night. When the apartment's quiet, the cat's asleep, and I'm brushing my teeth like, oh god, what if I'm still alone in 10 years? And then I'm like, okay, great, now I cannot sleep. People say all kinds of weird things about getting older. They talk about turning 40 like it's crossing some invisible border into irrelevance. They are like, oh, after 40, things start slowing down, or that's when people stop noticing you. And I always think, what does that actually mean? Stop noticing me how? Like, will I suddenly become invisible in line at Starbucks? Excuse me, I was here first. Alright, I'm 40 now. I don't exist anymore. And that slowing down thing, what are we even slowing down from? Because I can still run 5 kilo at a 6:30 pace on a bad day. So what, at 40, do I just crawl? Like, oh sorry, I'm 40 now. I jog emotionally. And this idea that older people cannot learn new things, please. My mom got a master's degree in her 50s. In her 50s, I'm literally decades younger than that. I cannot even use that excuse. So, yeah, I get what they mean. They are not talking about eyesight, they are talking about attention. They mean the world won't care as much, that fewer eyes will be watching. And honestly, that might be true. But maybe that's not the worst thing. Not being seen might actually be the best way to start seeing yourself. Like, what if being less visible is the first real opportunity to get to know yourself without the audience? I've always been kind of a people pleaser. The type that smiles even when she wants to scream. I mean, I love people, I love connection, but maybe, just maybe, I should start learning how to be content without applause. Because at some point, the crowd stops clapping and you have to keep dancing anyway. That's the scary part, but it's also kind of freeing, right? Because if nobody's watching, you can finally do whatever you want. You can dance ugly, you can fail publicly, you can be weird. So maybe that's what slowing down really is. Not about speed, but about quiet. Life gets quieter, the noise fades, and in that quiet, you finally start hearing your own thoughts again, which, depending on the day, can either be peaceful or absolutely terrifying. But at least it's yours. I'm in my mid 30s now, so I guess I'm getting close to finding out, right? When I lived in the States, I used to imagine single people in their 40s, clean apartments, cats, books, and maybe a few houseplants, a glass of wine after work. And now I look around my place and go, oh, so that's me. I have a cat. I love books. I have way too many plants. Like, way too many. My rubber plant and my fiddle leaf fig are basically my roommates now. They don't pay rent, but at least they don't talk back. So, yeah, I've officially entered the stereotype. I'm the cliche, and honestly, not bad. My cat greets me every morning like I'm the most important person on earth, which, let's be honest, I kind of am, at least in his world. And some nights when I'm sitting there eating dinner alone, probably watching a YouTube video about someone else's perfect morning routine, I just go, okay, we are doing fine. Yeah, I talk to myself a lot these days, but I think that's how you practice not being lonely. You start being your own company. You talk to yourself until the silence stops feeling heavy. People always assume loneliness has to do with being single, but I've seen couples sitting across from each other at restaurants, both scrolling through their phones, not saying a single word. That's not togetherness. That's just two people being lonely side by side. And then there are people who live alone, but they seem whole, peaceful, like they are connected to something bigger. Their work, their faith, their art, whatever it is that fills them. So, no, I don't think loneliness comes from being alone. It comes from being disconnected from life, from meaning, from excitement. When you stop feeling that tiny spark of, oh, this is fun, that's when it creeps in. Lately, I've been paying attention to the moments that make me feel alive. It's never the big things, it's stupid little things like when I learn a new recipe, cook it for my family, and they actually love it. That moment when you're like, oh my god, they like my food, I have value. Or when I go for a run and my heart just skyrockets and then suddenly drops and the drop feels so good. You know what I mean? Like that weird free fall in your chest right after you hit your limit. I swear people don't run for fitness. They run for that moment. That heart sink feeling after the rush, it's addicting. And then there are quiet moments too, like when you're reading and you find a sentence that just hits. You stop, underline it, and think, how did this person read my mind? That's connection right there. It's small, but it's real. And maybe that's what being alive really is. Not the big milestones, but the little electric moments in between. You don't always see them coming, you just have to notice. And honestly, maybe that's how we practice being okay by learning how to notice. And then there's health. Oh God, health. You hit your 30s and suddenly everyone's talking about magnesium, collagen, and stretching. Like, when did that become my social circle? We used to talk about concerts and heartbreaks. Now it's gut health and joint supplements. Getting older is weird. You start caring about things you used to literally laugh at. Like fiber, fiber. I remember looking at my friends in my 20s drinking those fiber shakes, and I was like, that's so gross. Why are you doing that to yourself? And then I tried it for diet reasons, of obviously. And oh my god, it was disgusting. Like this weird aloe slime texture. It tasted like wet cardboard and regret. I took one sip and thought, nope, I'd rather just be bloated forever. And then there are your joints. Suddenly your knees and ankles start sounding like bubble wrap. And you're like, oh cool, my body makes sound effects now. And sleep, don't even get me started. Apparently, if you don't sleep for more than 7 hours, you might get dementia. No pressure, right? Now I go to bed at 10 p.m. like it's my religion. I used to think stretching was for Olympians. Now I'm like, if I don't stretch before bed, I might literally never wake up. Before I run, I stretch every time. My running partners are like, can we go now? And I'm like, no, I gotta stretch. I am protecting my hamstrings and my ankles, okay? I used to chase personal records. Now I chase joint stability because joints really matter. Like, genuinely, I care about my knees more than my dating life at this point. Even before I go climbing, I literally stop and check my knees like, hey buddy, you good? You holding up? Because honestly, that's my partnership now. It's me and my knee versus the world. And here's the other thing. You start being kind of okay with how you look, even though you're not. Like, you see a new wrinkle and you're like, yep, that's permanent. Hello, new roommate. You used to think you could fix everything, the skin, the shape, the glow, whatever. Now you just accept it. You look in the mirror and go, yep, that's just how my face does now. Cool, welcome to the acceptance era, where you stop trying to look 25 and start celebrating the fact that your organs still work. And the fatigue. Oh my god. When I was 25, I could sleep 4 hours and I still look human. Now, if I stay up past midnight, I look like I just came back from war. Like, why do I look like I've been through something tragic? It's insane. My face just quits. It's like, nope, we're done being young. And alcohol? No, I'm done. No, thank you. The last time I drank, my brother looked at me and said, you look fat, just straight up, no hesitation. And you have to understand, he's not the kind of guy who ever comments on this stuff. So I just sat there in silence, like, okay, I am really fat. The next morning, I ran 2 kilometers and did yoga and drank a nice Americano like it was some kind of holy potion. I literally whispered to myself, you're sinful, you need to repent. And that's when it hit me. Maybe adulthood is just when detoxicating starts feeling better than drinking. When sweating feels like redemption. When a salad actually gives you hope. Like, wow, I'm healing spiritually through spinach and lettuce. Everyone I know now talks about their parents getting older, and it's really heartbreaking watching people you love start to move just a little slower each year. My mom's still strong, but she gets tired faster, and I can see it. It's subtle, but it's there, and it hits you. Health isn't about looking good anymore, it's about not being in pain, just waking up and not hurting anywhere. That's the kind of luxury I want now. Like, forget luxury bags, give me a painless back and clear digestion. But you know what freaks me out the most? When my mom casually brings up euthanasia, she'll say it so lightly that she's talking about vacation plans. And I'm sitting there like, Mom, are you okay? Are you having an existential crisis? She just shrugs and says, I just don't want to suffer when I'm old. And I'm like, cool, love the energy. Also, please never say that again. It's weird. You grew up thinking your parents are unshakable. And then one day they start talking about mortality. Why you're still trying to figure out probiotics. That's when you realize we are all aging, just at different speeds.